Hello, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I hope you're having a fantastic week. So once a month, I sit down and chat with you about the best and worst products I've tried or used recently. So that's what we're doing today. These are my current favorite and least favorite products that have stood out to me the most, either in good or bad ways over the past month or so. And I have a little bit of everything to share with you: beauty, fashion, lifestyle, home, a TV show. So let's go ahead and get started. First up is a new makeup release I wasn't expecting that much from, and I don't know why, because Smashbox makes one of my holy grail makeup products, the Cali Contour Palette. I'm on my second one. I refuse to be without it. It's great for days when I'm in a hurry because it's got basically everything I need for my face and eye color, and it's great to travel with. I just love that palette, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about their new Always On Mood Board mini eyeshadow palettes. I've been so impressed with the quality and pigmentation and basically everything about these. The two I have are Cozy Vibes, and this one is Fiery Vibes. Each one has 8 matte, metallic, and shimmer shades. There's a nice little mirror in here. And what I've found is that both the mattes and shimmers are very smooth. They're pigmented, yet buildable and easy to work with and long wearing. And I barely get any fallout from these shadows at all. They apply so beautifully. So today I have on Fiery Vibes. I didn't really go in with any plan. I just started applying shades and ended up where we are. The only extra thing I had to pull from another eyeshadow palette was my eyeliner shade. I like to line with eyeshadow sometimes, and that's just not an option in this palette because the dark brown has shimmer and these are a little bit too light, but I like everything else about it. Now I'll insert a clip here of me wearing just the mattes from Cozy Vibes. I've reached into this for just the mattes, for a shimmer one and done look, for a complete eye look, and I have been loving this for a neutral palette that gives me pretty much everything. Everything except a brow bone and inner corner matte highlight, but so many palettes don't have that, so I'm used to reaching into other palettes for that. It doesn't even bother me anymore. This is a great little mini neutral palette. It's so easy to use. I love the small size. Now, because I have blue eyes and love a good warm eyeshadow palette, I thought Fiery Vibes would be the one I would reach for the most, but it's Cozy Vibes. I love a neutral mini eyeshadow palette that I can use quickly. I don't have to deal with fallout. That gives me everything I need, and this fits that bill. I've just been really impressed with these this month. This is a great new launch and a standout product for me. There's been a lot of hype around these new Hourglass Unreal liquid blushes, and many times when there's a lot of hype, I almost think the product can't live up to that hype. I almost didn't even buy this because I certainly don't need any new blushes in my life, but temptation got the better of me, and I do test and review makeup, so here we are. I purchased the shade Future, which is a warm coral. This formula is really unique to anything else that's on the mainstream market right now. The only other formula I can think of that's somewhat similar is a little more niche, the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes, which I've talked about on my channel before. This is very similar to that, so if you like those, you will probably like this too. This has a very thin, liquidy, serum-like formula that plumps your skin with hydration and helps give your skin a smoother look. I find these to be very airbrushing and to give kind of a watercolor diffused effect. The finish is really beautiful. You press the button on the bottom to dispense the product. I drop 1 drop onto the back of my hand, and I find that is all I need for the perfect amount of diffused, flattering color on both of my cheeks. I've tried it with 2 drops and it is overkill. 1 drop is the perfect amount. I dip my brush into the product on the back of my hand and swirl it around so that the product is really worked into the brush, and then I start applying it to my cheeks. I start with one side, and if I'm getting enough pigment there, I'll move to the other and kind of work back and forth so that my cheeks are applied evenly. I've worn it over my bare skin. I've worn it over my liquid and cream products before applying setting powder. I've also worn it over my powdered and set face, and this applies beautifully every time. I think one of these will last forever because of how little is required to get pigment. I'm very, very happy with this purchase, and I'll probably be getting more. I love this formula. When I saw a stick version of Milani Luminoso came out, I had to try it because the regular Luminoso, the powder version, has been a bestseller for years for a reason, right? I love it. So many other people love it. It's very flattering on my light medium skin tone. It gives a beautiful peach radiance. It's actually perfect for this time of year. Unfortunately, the stick version was not good for me. It was a fail for me this month for a couple of reasons. It's got this sort of creamy, sticky, tacky texture that doesn't blend as easily as other stick blushes do that I prefer anyway, not as evenly. And if you blend it out or shear it out as much as you need to so that it's even, it shears out so much that there's just not much color payoff. You get more sheen than color. And if you don't shear it out completely so that you can see the shade, it just winds up patchy. My hands and arms are more of a medium skin tone right now, and you can see that it's just really not showing up. That's pretty much what it does on my face too. It's just very faint, and the powder version doesn't give me that same issue. I feel like this is made more for fair and light skin tones, but the texture issue is still going to be there. This was just not one of my favorite products this month, and I really wanted to love it, so I was pretty disappointed. I'm always on the hunt for good daily facial sunscreen options for wearing under makeup that don't aggravate sensitive or acne-prone skin, and if you're like me, flare up your rosacea. And I found another great Korean sunscreen option from Skin 1004. This is the Madagascar Centella Water Fit Sun Serum with SPF 50+, PA+++. Now for me, this has been functioning really well as both a moisturizer and SPF product all in one. If you have dry skin, you may want to apply moisturizer underneath it too. And you can see it does look stark white when you first squeeze it out of the tube. And it has this liquidy, thin consistency that spreads and blends out extremely easily. Now, this isn't normally how I apply my daily sunscreen. I'm applying it all in one go for the most part here. So you can just see how it blends out if you need to just slap your sunscreen on quickly and go. I normally do a layering method where I'll apply half the amount and blend it into my face and then layer the other half over it and blend it in. I personally find that to be quicker and easier. You do you, whatever works for you. The main takeaway here is that it does blend out easily and quickly and doesn't leave a white cast. Now it looks pretty dewy right after I apply it, and it does feel hydrating yet lightweight, but after I let it absorb for several minutes, which you should always do with your sunscreen before you apply any makeup on top of it, it settles into just my natural skin finish. It doesn't look dewy anymore, which is one thing I absolutely love. This doesn't make me greasy or feel heavy during the day, and it wears extremely well under makeup. I've never experienced pilling with it. This has ingredients to hydrate, soothe, and to help improve your skin condition overall and provide antioxidant benefits. Now, as someone who normally can only wear mineral sunscreens because US chemical filters aggravate my skin, Asian and Korean sunscreens have really been game-changing for me because they're so much more cosmetically elegant and just more advanced overall. They're more lightweight, they're just better. We're just a little bit behind over here when it comes to these chemical filters. I'm constantly testing sunscreens out to give you options, and this is another one that I've been extremely impressed with. Speaking of sunscreens, before I move further, I didn't want to forget to let you know, if you are an Elta MD sunscreen lover like I am, I love their mineral sunscreens. Starting today through, I think it's August 17th, you can save 20% on the Elta MD line at Dermstore. I have the link down in my description box along with the code. So if you've been wanting to try out any Elta MD sunscreens, I mean, it's such a great brand, or if you're wanting to stock up, you can get 20% off right now. I think we're having air conditioner problems. It's just not cooling down. I might be drenched with sweat by the time this video ends. So in July, I was checking out at Sephora. I had a bunch of points, and this little guy was an option. I got so excited when I realized what it was, because Charlotte Tilbury Icon Baby Lip Liner is one of my favorite lip liners, and I didn't know there was a lipstick Icon Baby to go along with it. I guess I just wasn't paying attention when she launched launched this particular lipstick line or this extension, but it's also in the Kissing formula, which is my favorite formula from her. Creamy, nourishing, smoothing. I changed my lips to it before filming this segment so you could see what it looked like, and I went home that day, put it on, and instantly fell in love with it and thought, I am definitely buying a full size. Over the next few days, I applied it a few more times and everything was fine. And then one day I went to apply it and the bullet felt sort of scratchy. It was kind of irritating. And I had noticed, or I remembered noticing the night before, as my lips had faded, there were little flecks of micro glitter left on my lips. I don't know why. I wasn't really attributing it to this. So I thought, is there glitter in here that I just didn't see at first? I don't see it on the bullet. I don't see it here. I don't think you can see it here, but I was wondering if it was just infused in here somehow, almost to where it was not that visible. So I started looking at reviews, and sure enough, there is micro glitter infused in this shade only, from what I understand, which doesn't make sense to me because I don't think she's ever done that before, and the shade would be so pretty without it. I don't know if she was trying to differentiate it from Pillow Talk for some reason, but I would love to have Pillow Talk in the Kissing formula. And I thought I was getting sort of a version of that with this, but unfortunately this went from loving to really disliking quickly because I don't want micro glitter that's going to be left on my lips or scratch me every time I apply it in my lipstick. So yeah, I did a complete 180 here. After thinking, I had found a near perfect lipstick. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I have one more blush to talk about. I know that's a big shock coming from someone who's been a blush lover for years and years. This is the MAC Glow Play blush. I don't know why. I never tried these before. These are not new, but the shade Cheer Up was calling to me. I love a good peachy, glowy looking shade this time of year. And I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to try and turn this, but this has sort of a cushy texture that allows you to apply it with your fingers or with a brush. So you have some versatility there, and I love a good buildable blush that doesn't deposit too much pigment right away so you end up with clown cheeks. I much prefer a sheer buildable blush that's error proof, and that's what this is. This has a sheer to medium buildable formula that seems to sort of blur and diffuse imperfections while giving a really pretty lit from within glow without shimmer. This is the blush that I have on today. I know I'm sweating a bit up here, but what's on my cheeks is not sweat. That is the glow from this blush, and there's no shimmer. It's just a really pretty, flattering, natural looking glow, and I'm so happy I tried this. This is one of my favorite products in July. Too Faced launched these new Disco Crush High Shine Glitter Eye and Face Sparkles. That's a long name. So when I first received these, I thought they were probably their version of Urban Decay Moon Dust or ColourPop Super Shock shadows. So I was pretty excited. I've actually had some pretty good luck with Too Faced products lately. Now the shade I'm showing you is Magic Sprinkles, although there are other shades and I do have it swatched here. I'm not sure if I got a clip of this on me, but I think you'll get the gist from everything that goes on here. These are described as being creamy, and they're supposed to give a dimensional reflective look with intense shine and give you that wet look, which I really like. But when I dip my finger in these, there's nothing creamy going on. It's just sort of chalky and dusty. I'm hoping you can see that on the tip of my finger. And the amount of fallout that I get from these is so much. And I also think you get a little amount for what you pay. So instead of being another option or their version of Urban Decay Moon Dust or ColourPop Super Shock or even Catrice, I'm blanking on the name, but they released some new reflective high shine single shadows that I got on Amazon. I can't remember what video I shared that in. I'll have those linked down below along with everything I'm sharing and wearing today. I just find these to be too dusty and to have too much fallout, and I just didn't like these the way I wanted to. Now this is what I had on my lips before changing it out to the Charlotte Tilbury Icon Baby lip color. I had on 2 of these sort of blended together. Allie Glines released 3 new shades of her Effortless Lips, and I love all 3 shades. This formula is so nice. It's a sheer buildable hybrid lipstick gloss balm product. I know there are tons of those out there, but this is a good one. It feels cushiony and hydrates and smooths and just it feels really comfortable. It also has just the right amount of shine and can be worn sheer, or you can build up the pigment. And when they fade evenly, so you're not left with an uneven mess on your lips. There's also a nice subtle vanilla scent. Rose has turned out to be a nice red that is actually very wearable because it's buildable. And I had Poppy, which is a soft coral, and Peony, which is a petal pink, mixed before changing it out. And they're both pretty on their own too. These are 3 great new shades. If you haven't tried her line yet, there are 3 original shades that are absolutely stunning to choose from too. I'm really picky when it comes to the candles that I burn in my home, and so are the people in this house. Sometimes I'll light things that I think smell good, and then somebody walks through and they're like, ugh, what is that, you know? So Stephanie Letta launched 2 new candles to go along with her fragrances, and I love every single fragrance that she's launched, so I was really excited about these. So she launched 22 Orris, which is her original fragrance. I'll have the notes here on the screen, and 18 Vanilla Nera. I'm hoping you can tell how luxurious these look and feel. These have some weight to them. They're very giftable. You can see Letta imprinted right here, and they're vegan, cruelty-free, and have a soy wax blend. Now, one thing I find a little bit odd is that there's no label on the bottom to indicate what fragrance you're burning. So if you no longer have your box or the little card that comes on the top and you want to reorder and you're not as familiar with what her scents smell like, maybe you don't have her perfumes like I do, you may not remember what to order, especially if she comes out with more candles. I looked on the side to see if I was missing a number. I've looked all over the bottom and I don't see it. Now maybe I had an early batch, maybe they do now, but it is on the box, it is on the card. It's a pretty minor thing, but I did want to make a note. I was going to burn one and went to look to see which one it was, and it wasn't there. I looked on the other one, it also wasn't there. So the only way I could differentiate was the sniff test, but it's definitely not a deal breaker. These are beautiful, giftable, very comforting, and they've also been burning very evenly too. What I have on is a romper. I have gone from not having any rompers and jumpsuits to accumulating them bit by bit. I'm sort of hard to fit when it comes to one-piece clothing items because I have a long torso. So when I find rompers and jumpsuits that fit well and they're cute and versatile, I jump on them. And this is one of those. I wore this when Brooke and I were in New York. It was perfect for the heat and for just staying comfortable. Now, the reason why the picture I'm inserting looks so weird is because the mirror outside of our elevator had this texture to it, but I think you get the gist. It's just easy to throw on. It also unbuttons pretty far down, so it's not hard to pull on and pull off. I've worn it with tennis shoes, I've worn it with sandals, I've thrown a jean jacket over it. I've really enjoyed it, and I have one that's similar in a print that I'll link for you too. I'm not sure if I have a picture of me in it. If I do, I'll insert it. So I feel like quite unexpectedly, rompers and jumpsuits have become sort of staples in my wardrobe. I never thought that would happen. Jean shorts are everywhere. They have been everywhere for the longest time, but a lot of them are very short, which some of you might be great with, but I just wanted a little bit of length to mine and I didn't want them to look frumpy. So I kept seeing this pair that was a little bit longer on Evereve's website and on Nordstrom's website, but the price always got me. Am I really going to pay that much for jean shorts? But I am of the mindset that if I'm actually going to wear it, then it's probably worth me spending the money on. So I ordered 2 different rinses with the full intent of sending one back, and I ended up keeping both of them because I wear casual stuff so much. These just fit into my wardrobe seamlessly, and I've already worn both of these multiple times since I got them at the beginning of July. Was it June? It may have been the end of June, and I just wasn't quite ready to review them at that point. But if you're like me and you've been wanting just some casual jean shorts that don't show everything, these might be what you're looking for. I feel like some of the pictures make them look longer than they look on me, and that might be because I have bigger thighs than the models do. I don't know, but I like them. The necklace and earrings that I've been wearing throughout this video are new from Dean Davidson, and they're really great for every day. They're just sort of good signature pieces you can throw on with anything. They've launched several new pieces since we've last talked, including an enamel collection, and I grabbed a necklace that I already have in gold. This is a necklace you see me wearing a lot, but I thought it was fun for summer in coral, and I got the matching earrings, the little small huggy hoops. I'm pretty sure I have more pieces from Dean Davidson than any other jewelry maker at this point. I love them, you know that. So if you're a first-time buyer, you can save 15% with my code down below and see more from both of these collections. I recently finished watching The Americans, which I had heard about for years but never watched, which I feel like describes a lot of people. I kept hearing how great it was and how it had one of the best finales, but I was always watching something else or involved in some other show. I could tell from the pilot that this was going to be a show I was going to be really into. So if you're not familiar or vaguely familiar, it's a critically acclaimed TV spy drama that aired for 6 seasons from 2013 to 2018 and was created by a former CIA agent turned author, which I think is what makes it so good. It's set during the Cold War and follows 2 highly trained Soviet KGB spies in an arranged marriage posing as a typical married couple living with their American-born children in a suburb of Washington, D.C. shortly after Reagan is elected president. The costumes and disguises in this show are so good. The music is good. It kicks off with good music. Their children have no idea about their true identities, and their marriage has become more genuine over the years, yet it's very complex for obvious reasons, and it's continually tested. Now, one of the plots that's introduced in episode 1 is their new neighbor that moves in, who is an FBI agent assigned to counterintelligence. If you were around during this era, you remember everything that was going on, and this show captures everything beautifully. It doesn't just show things from Elizabeth and Phillips and the Jennings perspective, it also shows the FBI conflict with the KGB from both agents' perspectives. It's really interesting and intriguing. It's one of those shows that continually got better for me. There was maybe one moment of slowness in the middle, but the end it just kept getting better and better, and it stuck the landing. The finale was in fact terrific. You know, every now and then there's a show that you watch that just leaves an impression that you miss when it's over, and this has been one of those shows for me. I didn't even realize how much I enjoyed it until I was done, because I just keep thinking back to it. I'd love to hear your shows like that. What are they? Maybe I'll check them out. Leave them for me in the comments down below. And I almost forgot, for those of you who may have missed my community post or my Instagram story, I was able to get a 15% off code for you for Anna Blue, who carries my favorite scalp exfoliator detox cleanser. I've shared this on my channel before. I think it's fantastic. It's a very spa-like experience, and I'm happy to have a site-wide code for you down in my description box. Just wanted to let you know that very quickly. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. A huge thank you to my Stephanie Marie Circle members for supporting me and my channel the way you do, and a special thank you to the premium members who go above and beyond to support me and my channel. You are so appreciated. You have no idea. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I will see you next time. Bye.